From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabbytha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report and the Moopsies, the show where we don't just play the game, but we moopsie you how to play the game.
I'm Tabbytha, that was Nikodas, and here is Grebog.
Computer Run Program, episode 220, Special Captain Specializations. Because we know you are special captains and need some special specializations.
You're special.
We're all special. Everyone's special to us. If you'd like to support us being here, chatting with us, or just even lurking is support enough. But you can also, subscribe. Or if you don't want to give Twitch your money, we have a coffee link, so you can buy us a coffee, which is apparently Stream Elements is not up there. Nope, there it goes. ko-fi.com/GREBOG. Don't mind the delay in the chat. It's fine. Everything's fine here. All right, Nikodas, I guess you're up. Well, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
I have had a very, very, very busy week. Everything from lots of working hours in a row and jury duty and school, and it's been a mess. Hence the reason I didn't work on show notes until just a little bit ago. Yeah, it's been hectic, and I have not honestly had a whole lot of time to do much gaming. I really wanted to get on WoW this week and finish leveling my character, but it didn't happen. So I don't have a whole lot to report outside of STO. I have been playing STO primarily while at work. And I'm working on some older characters. Oddly, not my newest characters. They've been kind of put on a back burner for a moment. I pulled out a older Starfleet character I made, which is Cardassian, and her entire bridge crew are Cardassians. And I put them all in the Cardassian outfits, and they're flying a Cardassian ship. And I'm fixing the build on that character because I kind of put it together a long, long time ago before I really learned how to do builds. And revisiting it has been really interesting. My only complaint, same complaint I had back then that I do now, there are no Cardassian ground weapons in this game, and I hate it. but yeah, that's pretty much it. Tabby, I'm giving you the torch.
Well, thank you for the torch. I have been playing WoW, playing STO, doing school, and building a computer. Not my computer. I've been fixing a dear friend's computer. They sent it to me from Michigan, and because it died, and I am rebuilding for them, and I will be mailing it back. Why mailing it back and forth instead of just buying a new one, you may be asking? Well, because the parts that are still good in it are very, very expensive, and so we really only had to replace about $500 worth of parts. So the new parts plus shipping is substantially cheaper than buying a new computer. So it's more cost effective to ship it back and forth and buy the new parts than it is to replace the entire system with equivalent bits.
That's fair.
That's understandable. I mean, that's sort of how I build my computers. I upgrade a chunk and then I upgrade another chunk later because I don't have enough money to do it all at once.
Yep. But I'm having to. I got it almost all put together today, but I'm having to quickly order a part because the cord for the CPU cooler is about 1/8 of an inch too short to plug into the motherboard.
Oh, did you buy some extenders?
Yes.
I was not normally a big fan of the idea until I bought some too. Because I had to run something a little weird when I initially put my computer together and I didn't like it, and bought some extender power cable from like the power supply to my CPU. And I just like this is so much better. And it looks cleaner. Sorry.
Yup. Yeah, there was no fudging. Like there's no plugging it in without an extender. Like it's not going to happen. So I had to get an extender.
I think with the ones I bought after buying them, I don't know that I'm going to not use them, even if I don't need them, just because it gives me that extra. I can tuck the cables where I want them and make things look pretty.
Yeah, definitely. But that's my week. That's my week.
I guess that means me. My week's been interesting. Without getting into details, I had some frustration in WoW because some people apparently are a little, I guess greedy would be a good way to put it. Not team players would be another way to put it about loot. And it frustrates me when people take advantage of other people's nicenesses, which this probably got more on my frustration level because of the stuff going on in my real life on how people were trying to take advantage of my in-laws. So, it was like another thing, and it's probably good that no one could hear me other than my wife when someone did something not nice, in my opinion. But yeah, I've been playing WoW. Raid's been going well. We cleared normal mode in a 2-hour raid night. That was nice. Means Friday we get to do a full focus on heroic. I've also been doing delves. Those are fun. I really haven't been playing many other games besides that and STO. I've been doing my dailies. I've been working on my one tactical captain still. And because I've been monitoring the prices of master keys, I go right now. Everybody go buy some master keys. I don't know anyone that has some posted up. Then you can turn around and sell them for way cheaper, and then I will buy them right back. And then once the prices go back up, I'll sell them back to you. So yeah, that's one of the ways I make some. It's one of the ways I make EC is I buy and sell master keys on the exchange. When the price drops down, I buy them, and then when the price goes back up, I sell them. I don't use them. I just I treat them like a commodity. It's the master key exchange for me. Like instead of like the stock market. Yeah. So right now I'm sitting on a good amount of EC. That's how I hit 1 billion EC the one time. Is I did that until I had 1 billion. Anyway, let's move on to this week in STO.
All right. Well, this week in STO, they announced a new MUDs bundle. No, MUDs market is not dead. It is not seemingly going anywhere. This is the 32nd Century Legacy bundle. It's got the Kirk Temporal Heavy Battle Cruiser, the Janeway Command Science Vessel, the Courage Command Science Vessel, and then the regular items you can get with it, which includes, since we didn't list it, I got to look it up. The 50 Master Keys, the 300 Lobby Crystals, the 9 Experimental Ship Upgrade Tokens, the 16 Elite Bridge Officer Training Tokens, or the 10 Ultimate Tech Upgrades. You can pick 3 if you buy the bundle, which is normally 29,500 Zen, currently half off. for 14,750 Zen, or you can get the Mega Bundle, which is normally 600,000 Zen.
Nope.
Currently, is that wrong?
Their blog post is wrong.
Oh.
In game, it says 50,000 Zen. The blog post said 60,000 Zen for regular price.
Which means half off is 25,000, which is exactly what it shows in game. That's interesting.
Yes, that is interesting. I that's why in the show notes I made a note like I according to blog 60,000, according to game 50,000.
I wonder if somebody oopsed or if they're trying to lower prices.
Whatever. It's
very interesting.
we've had in the past 25 like 50,000 Zen mega bundles before. They don't normally do it. Now they normally do it when we have a bundle like this. And what I mean by a bundle like this, there's no console that is super noted. There is no Starship trait that is super noted on any of the ships.
Yeah, nothing meta. That's true.
And the ships themselves, if you want so the Courage and the Janeway were noted, I believe, noted for torpedo builds. The Kardashev is a better ship. The Eagle is a better ship. So there's already in-game better ships, cheaper than those. And same with the Kirk. There's also a better, the Typhon is going to, a free ship is going to be better than the Kirk. So
yeah, I just like before the show, I rewatched 1701's review of the Kirk, and he was not impressed with it. He doesn't like the Kirk.
This is a great cosmetic bundle. If you want Space Barbie, these are ships you love, it's still a valid reason to buy.
I can't afford. I can't drop that much money on Space Barbie.
Yeah, I can't either.
Me neither. That's why I'm like,
Janeway's.
Oh well.
I would love the Janeway. It's a very pretty ship, but can't do it. It's actually one of the few 32nd century ships that I actually like, but is what it is. Tabby, you're up.
Me? I'm up.
Knock it out of the park for us, will you?
Mud Market non-bundle item sale from now until the 17th, though the blog says the 7th. You get 75% off all non-bundle items. So if there was a ship, a console, a past event item that you've been waiting to get your hands on, like the Imperial Rift set, the Sylvia's Charm, or anything like that, a bunch of useful items that are there, or the Furiodon, or the other Targ pet, which we tested out to be amazing DPS. Now is the time to go and pick it up because it's 75% off.
Sylvia's
you
cat
can
charm.
head over to what's that?
Or get Sylvia's cat charm.
Yeah, I mentioned that. I said that.
I
you
just
can also
like
get the holographic Marshal Janeway Bridge Officer.
A really good ship that's in muds. That is not in a bundle is the Vulcan Experimental Scout Vessel. Not only is it a fun ship just to fly, and it's a pilot science vessel, which there aren't too many of those, but it comes with the device that's handy almost everywhere. You can get the red matter capacitor off of it.
I think you're seeing that.
Oh, that's normally a Lobby.
I think you're seeing it because you bought the mud bundle that it came with, and it broke it out into an individual item for you.
Yeah,
I didn't think that one came in a bundle.
It came in a bundle.
Well, what was the other ship? Because I don't have another ship.
Let me Google. Save me. You said Vulcan Pilot.
like-
experimental scout vessel. I don't have another ship unless it came packed with the NX.
All
But yeah,
right.
like,
It is
it's
in
not
the Muds into Darkness and Beyond choice pack, which is the one where it had the Kelvin Timeline Vengeance class Intel Dreadnought cruiser. It also had the a choice pack of the Kelvin Timeline Constitution, Kelvin Timeline
Oh,
D4X.
all right. It came in that one. All right, I
Yeah,
stand
yes.
corrected. That's fair. Thanks for calling me out, guys.
I'm like, I would
Oh,
love
yeah.
that ship would be an individual, but unfortunately, that's just because you bought it.
It came with these two, and I forgot about it. So that's on me. I apologize, everybody. Nikodas giving bad information. Go figure.
Bad info.
You're
But
just
yeah, but
excited
there-
and wanting to share.
It's all
there's
good.
there's a bunch of stuff.
Hey, I will own my mistakes. All right.
But there's a bunch of stuff. But most like single consoles, pets, and like devices and stuff, you can get for about 2,000 Zen. Like in the bridge officers, you can get for 1,000.
The
Ships
ships
for
that they
about 4,250.
yeah. A lot of the ships are past event ships that if you've missed the event. And there are still some good ones in there.
Good deal. Good
All
deal.
right, and then our last news, besides them screwing up their blog posts, we still have the special event Dimensional Typhoon going on right now. It takes 20 days of progress, which is technically you can do 2 points a day, and so you're gonna have to get 40 total points. Oh, I guess 40 daily progress, 40 points. And running the TFOs will get you 2 points. Running the patrols will get you 1 point. And the TFOs are Royal Flush, Battle of Wolf 359, Resistance of Starbase 1, and the patrols are Out of Control and Unwanted. Both of those are new, and the Royal Flush one is also a new TFO. And this is where you get your Typhon, which we were talking about earlier on how it's better than the Kirk. So if you want to ship for much cheaper than the Kirk, just do this. Heck, even buying it out might be cheaper than buying the Kirk. I mean, there is also extra into the reward pack. You will also get 6, I believe, weapons, pulse phaser weapons. This doesn't say. Yeah, 6 pulse phaser. That does. Okay, and then you also will get 3 featured TFO reward boxes, which is where you can get more specialization points or universal tech upgrades. Your choice. All right, that's the news.
Alrighty, so our primary target for today is talking about Captain Specializations. Now, over the past several weeks, we've been talking about the different types of ships in the game, and we did talk a little bit about the ship seating. And then we did an episode, which was last week, on just those seatings. Now we're going to talk about the specializations themselves to kind of wrap this whole thing up, right? So every specialization has some common similarities. Those being, they have a kit module that unlocks in the dilithium store. These are only the primary specializations, though, which is Commander, Intelligence Officer, Miracle Worker, and Temporal Operative. And we will detail those here in a little bit. If you spend 8 points in one of those specializations, you get the common version. 13 points will get you the uncommon. 18 points will get you the rare, and then 27 points will get you the very rare. Do you know, Grebog, can you upgrade those further?
Let me check. I actually use some on this captain. Let's see. I think they're stuck. They are locked.
Okay. So you have to spend the points to get the rarer versions. That's what I was wanting to check. Okay. Each of trait has a starship. Sorry, each specialization has a starship trait that unlocks. But the secondary only specializations don't have an upgraded version. So all the primaries, if you spend 15 points, you will unlock it. At 30 points, you get the improved variant of that trait. For the secondary only specializations, you can't spend 30 points there. So they only offer the base. Excuse me. And then there's a crafting unlock for commander, intelligence officer, miracle worker, pilot, and temporal operative. If you spend 10 points, you get the specialization qualification to train your bridge officers in that specialization. And then at 22 points, you earn the rank 3 bridge officer training manuals for that specialization. So, like if you wanted to teach a bridge officer Surgical Strikes 3, you'd have to get 22 points in Intelligence Officer, then craft the qualification to make your bridge officer an intelligence officer, and then craft the training module to teach it Surgical Strikes 3. That's how that works. That was a mouthful. Tabby, you're up.
Command officer. Let me get my there it is. Command officers commanding the crew and so specializes in increasing their effectiveness and their coordination. This is a ground and space specialization. The trait that you get from it is command frequency, and what that does is it removes the low health requirement on fleet support and reduces the cooldown by 5 minutes basic and 10 minutes improved. That ability is the one that when you're at low health, it summons in your summons in fleet support like a cruiser or whatever, and it normally has like a 15-minute cooldown. So the command frequency removes that low health requirement, so you can summon it whenever you want, and the regular version reduces the cooldown to 10 minutes, and then the improved version reduces the cooldown to 5 minutes. And the notable kit modules that this one gives you is Hammer and Anvil and Delegated Devastation. I know Hammer and Anvil is one that you use is on the Team Space Princess away team setup that you won't put on one of your bridge officers, and it gives like buffs and it gives like a damage bonuses when you when you've got when you've got the when you've got the enemy sandwiched between you and another team member.
Yep.
So if if you've got you on one side and somebody else on another side, then get all kinds of hefty bonuses. I'm not sure what Delegated Devastation does. Y'all know?
Sacrifice weapons for team damage buff. Self weapons offline for 10 seconds, but it gives your team a 40% bonus energy damage for 25 seconds, and the team is immune to weapon offline for 25 seconds. It's a team
Nerf myself
thing.
for my team? Oh, I'm not going to do that. My parses.
Well, if you're doing parses and trying to push record numbers, having someone in a support build with this can mean you could get some amazing record parses for whoever
exactly
is the key person going for the record parse.
some of the benefits from this specialization is a command officer passive. You get plus 5% base max hull capacity and max health, and plus 0.33% per point spent. Boosts morale. Active space removes buffs and removes debuffs and control effects for 4 seconds for your team. And revitalize active ground, same as boost morale.
Yeah, I don't know why they made it different, but they made it. Yeah, it's literally
They
worded
could
the
have just
same.
left it the same.
Well, one's for space and one's for ground. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't really have to change the name.
true.
They could have just said boost morale, parentheses space, boost morale, parentheses ground.
That's true.
All right, for intel officer, let me pull this up on my screen, and I'm doing something special this time on the as people are talking about the different specializations. Making us the big screen again. So TLDR is searches for weaknesses in their foes, staying undetected, while also preventing the same. So it increases your stealth and also basically your perception is one thing, and then also you get bonuses for going against the weaknesses. This is both a ground and space specialization. It has a Starship trait, predictive algorithms. I was like, I should have wrote this down. Where did that trait go? Here we are. Which predictive algorithms is a self debuff and higher accuracy boost. Yeah, yes, it's a Starship trait, which means obviously space. Notable kit modules. One of them definitely is the frictionless grenade, which is also one that we've talked about in the Space Barbie, or not Space Barbie.
Team Space Princess.
Space, yeah, the Space Princess build. This is a nice little, minus 75 all damage resistance, minus 70 to your enemies, and then has a chance to knock them down. So it's a great for kind of taking out your enemies a little bit. I don't know that there's anything. There are quite a few other things. I know some people like photonic decoy, but that's more about just getting. Basically, you get a decoy that something else attacks you. Which, hey, if you like that, that's cool. But I don't. Nothing really else stands out to me in there. The benefits from the specialization is you get the intelligence officer passive, which is a plus 5% base defense or dodge, depending upon if you are on space or ground. And then plus 0.33% per point spent to get you more, and it maxes out at 15%. Intelligence fleet is an active space skill that you get from this, which boosts Starship stealth, Starship perception, and shield and armor penetration. Kind of what the TLDR for the entire intelligence officer is. And then also on ground, you have precision offensive, which is a boost to your shield's armor penetration and exposed chance and duration. Which is very similar to the intelligence fleet, just it's been reworked to the things that are on the ground side. Also, to note that this is one of many of intelligence is majorly used in a lot of the DPS builds because of the increased perception and flanking stuff. Like there's an intel flanking power that you unlock. So
It's a passive. Yeah.
yeah, there's a passive in here that increases your flanking damage. So and there's also shield penetration passives in here, which is why Intel is one of the key for energy weapon damage builds.
Miracle Worker is our third one that we're going to cover. This uses Miracle Workers use their ingenuity and creativity to solve problems and push their ships and equipment to the limits. This is a ground and space specialization. The space. Let me get on tongue tied here. The Starship trait is going the extra mile. The kit module, apparently there's two of them: throw regenerative nanite canister and overload power cells. I believe that regenerative nanite canister is one that people have found kind of useful on bridge officers.
Yeah, it's an AoE heal, basically.
Yeah. It's a kit module, though. Is that one that if you upgrade an officer?
I
No,
think
because that's the kit frame that they use, isn't it?
there is a so a lot of kit modules that we are talking about. There are also bridge officer power trait like skills that you can train them. This just gives this to your captain, so
Right.
your
And then
captain
you
can then
train.
do that power as well.
Okay, so yeah, I confused myself there. Apparently, I'm having an off night.
If
Moving
you
right
are
along.
doing a healing build like for a support DPS run, this could be something to to pick up.
Thank you, much appreciated. Benefits from this specialization include the Miracle Worker passive, which is a plus 5% base to your max haul in space or hit points on the ground regeneration. So let me say that again. It's a plus 5% base regeneration to either your max haul if you're in space or your hit points if you're on the ground. And then you get an additional 1.5% to that regeneration per point spent
50%
in the
max.
specialization. Another mouthful. Let's see. There's the active space ability is called Give Her All She's Got. This boosts your resistance rating to subsystem offline effects. To the duration of subsystem offline effects. It also increases your flight turn rate, your incoming hull healing, and your maximum hit points. Back in the fight is the active ground. This does similar stuff for the ground. It boosts your resistance rating to the duration of ranged weapons offline. It increases your run speed, your incoming healing, and your maximum hit points. Got it all there in the end. Here's Tabby to talk about piloting.
Piloting as I maneuver my ship into a position. All right, piloting, fly fast, both in maneuverability and speed, just like Alrel. I forget how to say his name. It's fine. This is a space-only specialization. The trait that you get is pedal to the metal. What is that one?
Must go fast.
What's that?
I said must go fast.
Faster, must go faster.
Pedal to the metal. The improved version is plus 2% all damage boost, stacks 10 times for maintaining 100% throttle. Basically, the faster you go, the better damage.
There you go.
It'd be 1% for the not improved.
The passive that you get while pilot is active is plus 10% base and plus 1% per point spent to a max of 40%.
Oh, I
to your
boarded that.
Starship turn rate.
Yeah, thank you. I forgot to put that down.
Yes, you did. I'm glad I got it pulled up on my screen and I'm looking at it. You get Lone Wolf, which is a space active, increasing defense, distribute shields, and placating foes. And Shield Scraping, which is a space passive, which deals damage to all shield facing scaled with throttle, increasing damage to shields.
Yeah, so you can run past an enemy ship and touch shields, and you'll damage their shields and not your own.
Oh my.
It's not an overly useful ability, but it's fun to see it happen.
Touching shields. Oh my.
Touch
I'm
your
sure.
shields to mine.
I'm sure there's a build that could utilize that effectively. There's
There are
console out
some.
now that does something similar. So, like you can rotate between using the console and using this, and yeah.
All right, Temporal Operative. This one, basically you're tapping into the weave of space and time to manipulate probability and causality. This is a ground in space specialization and can be used and also can be used as a primary or secondary. Which right now I have mine set up as a secondary. A simple way, okay, I guess to keep it clear, if you're in game and trying to figure out where the break line is, simple way to look at it, secondary will only use tier 1 and tier 2, and primary, when you activate it primary, it'll use all 4 tiers of the powers and buff stuff. So the Starship trait is non-linear progression, which is essentially gives you a bonus in space if you have it slotted that basic information reverse causes buffs. This trait eliminate basically if you go backwards, it causes buffs, which is a little weird, but eliminates the power drain that naturally caused by leaving your ship in reverse. And like I said, it's a little weird for a Starship trait. I don't know many people that use it. But it also improves it improves your hit points and shield regeneration while you're backing up. Like I said, it's a little weird. Some notable kits are the Paradox Bomb. I use this one a lot. Which is essentially it creates you throw out a bomb at a target, and it creates a spot that will draw them in, and it does some physical damage to them. Then there is another one is causal entanglement, and then I also am using a chronometric diffusion, which is another good one, which does more physical damage. They're basically about a bunch of AoE. It reduces the damage your enemies do. It reduces their run speed. It basically, it's also, I believe, another pull-in. Oh, it disables their sprint. They can't run. They just can't run. And yeah.
But can they hide?
Probably not. I mean, the real TLDR for Temporal is the fact that it's science. It's sci-fu to the max. So the Temporal Operative, the base buff that you get for being a Temporal Operative, you get +5 base exotic particle generator and for space and kit performance while on ground. You also get 1.5 per extra point to a max of 50. The reason that this is not a percent, it's because it's giving it to the skill. So like you'll have maxed out +50 exotic particle generator skill, +50 kit performance skill. Oddly, this is one of the few that gives you a skill boost and not a percentage to something else. They like to be different. Some notable powers that they have in here. There's the passive causal glitch, which reduces cooldowns on your bridge officer abilities by 50%. I believe that triggers when continuity is triggered, you get this, which continuity is, I'm probably saying that wrong. Is another part of it. It's what teleport, like if you've ever seen me running this and I randomly teleport around when I get jacked up, that is because continuity triggered. I can't say this word apparently. I'm just not gonna. And then there's also anomaly leash. Leash. I can't talk anymore tonight. But this is great for this is why for a lot of science builds, exotic particle builds. If you're doing an anomalies, it increases the movement speed of your anomalies, and so if you have things that will chase them down, this will make them move even faster. And then, of course, there's the temporal crosswiring, which, whenever activating exotic damage abilities, it grants you more fire cycle haste. And there's a bunch of other good stuff. It really boosts your Saifu.
So I was just looking at Temporal Operative. I had it as my primary. I just changed it. But I was looking at it, and that anomaly leash, it does more than just increase your anomaly speeds. It
Yeah.
makes all of your anomalies mobile. All of them. It says anomalies summoned by you are now mobile and will move at a slow pace towards whatever enemy you currently have targeted.
Which is why Gravity Well is normally a stationary anomaly. And when I'm in my science build and setup, you can watch my anomaly hunt down new enemies and pull people in, which is why some things that weren't within range become within range and get pulled into my Gravity Well.
Yeah, I need to change my Ice Princess so that she's a Temporal Operative. I'll have to look into doing that. That's actually kind of cool. Constable. So we're moving from the large specializations into the smaller ones.
Constable.
Yeah, I said it wrong. I know. Constable.
No, actually, no. Constable's right. I'm the one who's putting the emphasis on a different syllable.
I think I stumbled over the word a little bit myself. Actually, Odo would be very mad at me, but he hated being called constable anyway to start with. So if somebody went around saying constable, I'm sure he would
Constable.
He would find that very annoying. Anyway, constable. Whatever your primary target is, it gets marked as your antagonist. And when you are facing off against your antagonist, the base passive will give you armor, a significant amount of armor penetration and bonus damage. Reading this here, it just says armor pen, but I know some of the abilities increase damage. Like tear down here gives 10% bonus to all damage versus your antagonist. So yeah, but it's only one target at a time. Now, as you switch, that target gets blown up or whatever, and you switch targets, that new target would then become your antagonist. So it's good for single target builds. Potentially not as good for like Fire at Will or AoE builds or Space Magic builds, but there might be some uses there too. It is a space and ground specialization, but it is only a secondary. The Starship trait is called Arrest, and the benefits, as we just discussed, there's armor pen versus your antagonist, and then some other benefits like
reduce
extra
bridge officer
damage.
cooldown.
That there's additional hull healing. You can steal healing from your antagonists, so as you got them targeted, if they try to heal themselves, then you gain a quarter of that healing. So there's some fun stuff there.
It used to be one of the top secondary specializations to use in various DPS builds.
I can see it being, again, in single target builds. Like if you're doing a beam overload build, this is probably really, really good. If you're doing fire at will, it's less useful. But yeah, I mean, I could certainly see that working, which is why I just switched to it. Tabby is up with Commando. I'm done with Constable.
Abby's going commando.
I'm going commando. Glad I don't have my camera on. Okay. This is a ground only specialization, and it's a little mini one. It specializes in ground combat and utilizing your weapons to fight in gear to your fullest. Now you do get a Starship trait out of this. Demolition teams. What does demolitions teams do?
You know, we haven't talked about any of that, but I'm looking it up. Hang on.
Alrighty.
Starship trait gives a bonus in space if slotted into. Wow, that's great description there. So every 4 seconds, basically you're beaming on a demolition team onto your enemy's ship, and they will place charges, and that does connect damage to the enemy ship. That kinetic damage is 100% shield penetration because, well, they're inside the shields. And basically, it says every 4 seconds for 2 seconds applies a demolition team debuff to the primary target. Once 5 debuffs or 3 to slash 3 debuffs. I don't get what it deals the damage. So
Alrighty
then. So some of the benefits that you get from this specialization is plus 5% base weapon and melee damage, and plus 0.3% per additional point that you spend on it. And there's no active power for it, so you just get a bonus to your weapon and melee damage.
Yeah, it increases your damage resistances, your hit points. You get more shield, more. Yeah, it just buffs all the ground stuff. And let's see, this is not the one I'm thinking. Nope, it is. This also comes with a weird passive called Wrecking Ball. For those that know, like if you do the rolls left and right, forward, whatnot, when you roll, you leave behind a bomb, and then it blows up where you were standing. It's a weird trait or a weird power. All right, so then we have Strategist, which, while Commando was space or ground only, this one is space only. This one gives you a plus. Well, Starship trait Unconventional Tactics. This is where you get to increase damage while Brace for Impact is active. I apparently typoed and put of. I don't know what Brace of Impact is, but so you get a small damage boost there. Some of the benefits, like just the default for Strategists, you get a plus 5% shield strength, and then you get a 0.33% per point spent on top of that. Do I have? And it looks like the max for that is 10%. So yeah, not a bad buff. I know at some point people used to use Strategists as their secondary. And this is a secondary only. You get the active space trait Diversionary Tactics, which, while threatening and stance enabled, it will taunt foes within 10 kilometers and generate 50% more threat. So it could be useful if you're doing a tank build and you need to have more threat. So while not threatening, when you hit the power, it will placate the foes within 10 kilometers, and you will generate 50% less threat for 10 seconds. This one, like I said, it's all about all about space. It also has basically it does more stuff, different things depending upon your threatening and or whether you're threatening or not threatening. Um, like you get more shield regeneration if while not threatening, and hull regeneration. But while you're threatening, once every 30 seconds, bridge officer Captain Hall heals, reduce bridge officer recharge time. Um, so it's a little weird. You seem to get more self healing if you're not threatening, more survivability, I guess, if you're not threatening. But while you're threatening, you can get some more damage and haunts, and yeah, it's an interesting build setup. I know people have used it in the past for builds because in general it does some nice things. I mean, it can make you immune to torpedo damage once every 30 seconds, even.
Again, I was just reading up on that. It sounds, just by the way it works, it increases damage per target. So that one would probably be better for an AoE build, like a Fire at Will or Scatter Volley, where Constable looks like it would be better for Beam Overload or Rapid Fire.
Yeah.
Food for thought. I decided I wanted to be in a bigger ship. I got tired of feeling small. You guys want to do the daily?
Do the daily.
Sure.
All right. Daily it is.
Yes.
While we are waiting on the wee woo, what are we doing next week?
What are we doing next week?
What? Good question. Maybe our bosses have a suggestion, aka the viewers.
Chat.
Wee woo.
Wee woo.
Chat. Do you have any suggestions on a topic that we can cover next week? Anyone? Bueller?
Fascinating. On my screen, Nikodas, your ship did not warp out. It just disappeared.
Poof, be gone. It's Q. Q snapped me somewhere.
You know, I made the joke about buying out the ship or the event just to get the ship. And I'm like, you know, I guess it would be 6,000 full price. So that'd be $60. So at least do enough dailies to at least cut it down. So, but still, or just do enough dailies that you get it free.
Huh.
I'm down to almost 2,000. Not that I want to buy it out. I've missed a couple days though.
Well, oddly, I have 29 of 40 progress. So when we were doing the other day the patrols to get the daily completions, apparently one of my patrols didn't count.
Ooh.
Yuck.
It's fine. I'm still gonna get the completion. That's all that really matters. It makes me feel odd because I'm now an odd number constantly. Oh, I don't have brace for impact on my bar. That could be bad-ish. Well, here, I'm gonna go straight forward.
Tabby, when did you get that ship?
I got it from the legendary, from the anniversary bundle.
Oh, I didn't realize the disco prize was in there.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like that. One of them was in there. There's so many discoveries.
I thought that bundle was older than the disco prize.
It's one of the reasons why I hopped right on it.
Jump on it. Jump on it. Oh, wait.
And this one comes with scaling a full loadout of purple scaling advanced phaser beam arrays.
Nice. Where are you at, friends? I'm over at Epsilon.
I went down middle. So I guess I'm going with Iota. Right now I'm rescuing some ships, if you didn't hear.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Delta. Ah. Delta's the right side. Is that where you're at, Tabby?
Okay,
Delta.
Once I finish up Central, I will head to that side.
How many rescued ships are we at? 12. We're still missing 6 of those ships.
Well, the 6 down mid are done.
The octahedron at Zeta has been destroyed. Destroy the emitter.
I'm about to save one.
An Undine ship has been rescued. We are grateful.
Seem to be missing 3 ships now.
There's after we beat this one, another platform will become available, and there should be 3 there.
No. There's 3 for each of these points where the cubes and then octahedrons are. So 6 per lane.
Oh, you're right. We did miss 3.
I don't know how. I don't know. Oh, I shouldn't say I don't know how. I don't know where they were. I'll just say that.
It's almost too big of a map. They're almost spread out too much. Ooh. That warped in right on top of me.
It's fine.
I gotta say, I love this disco prize.
It's unfortunate that it didn't set it up better, if I remember correctly. It's not a bad ship, it's just... there are other ships that have better seating.
What seating does it have, Tabby?
Yeah, the seating is a bit wonky, but I still love flying it.
And like I said, Space Barbie is a valid reason to fly ships.
Oh, yes.
And here we go.
Yeah, for Space Barbie, I can overlook quite a bit of seating flaws.
And honestly, having the optimal seating, as one might... for those that don't know, that was air quotes there. like having the optimal seating only matters if you're really going to try to push numbers and whatnot. You can do advanced. You could probably even do elites in a properly built non-optimal ship.
Yup.
I
I mean,
mean,
if you can do like whatever you could do in a T5 ship, you don't need optimal seating for.
yeah.
We must leave the area.
And here goes the big boom.
Big bada boom.
An operation well done. The Borg have been removed from this part of fluid space, though I suspect they will attempt to return. Until then,
So before we sign off, I read something kind of interesting the other day, and it's Star Trek related, so I thought I would bring it up. In the Academy series, which they've confirmed does take place in the 32nd century, we are going to be learning more about the technology of that era, including why the nacelles are no longer connected to the ships.
Ooh.
We're going to have an official answer to that. I'm really hoping we also find out more about the pathway engines, the thing that replaced the spore drive.
Yup.
But
Cool.
they specifically mentioned the detached nacelles.
Very
I
cool.
wonder how close to my theory it'll be.
Your theory was very well crafted, so I would be curious to see that as well. All right, guys. So did we get any suggestions? I haven't been monitoring chat. I've been bad.
No, we did
Nope.
not get any suggestions.
All right, so we will come up with a topic on the backside here, and next week when I do my advertisement, my customary social media post, which I neglected to do today. Oops. I was prepping for a
Shame.
D&D game instead, and I forgot about it.
For shame, for shame.
I know.
We're gonna make you strip down and walk down the street while we say shame.
With the bells, carrying bells around
Yep.
to make sure everybody's paying attention.
Yep.
So we will announce what that topic is later, and we'll bring it up Monday as well. But as always, I will see you out there.
Have fun, fire safe, and don't be set on yourself.
Be right back. Yeah, hang around. We will be rating somebody. So yeah, as my brain went to, I need to hit the BRB button and said what my yeah. All right.
Computer, end program.
Live long and prosper, everybody. Yeah, and as Tabby said, computer, end program.